All right, guys, now this is our second poster talking about our heart rate. This is very similar. The only difference is it doesn't go as much, it does still go by age, but it only has age on the bottom here, and then the lowest number it goes to is 10. So if you are over 10, the next number is actually 20, and you're nowhere near 20 yet. So pretty much everybody's gonna be on this first column, whether you're 6, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, or 10, or even 11, you're gonna be right here on this one. So the numbers to pay attention to are 150 and 180. Now, the other numbers we were talking about were really low. They were only the beat for the 10-second count. That little number at the bottom talked about how many for the whole minute, and that involves some math where you had to multiply. So if you don't know how to multiply yet, this chart won't make much sense to you. The other one will be the one I would stick with. If you want to use that one and you know how to multiply, that's completely okay as well. Either one works. So the thing I like about this zone is what they're talking about is the blue line is 70%. We talked about 60, 70, 80, and 90% in our last poster. And then you look at this top one, the purple line is 85%. So like I said, 70 to 85% on this chart is what we call the training zone. This would be the somewhat hard zone that they wanted you to be in on the other chart. For this one, we're trying to get anywhere from 150 to 180. We want to be somewhere in here, okay? This is how our heart gets the most benefit from the exercise. If we're down here, yes, you're doing good because you're being physically active, but your heart is not getting the most benefit. If you're working above it, and some of you are going to ask that question, what happens if I want to be above the training zone, coach? Well, the problem is you won't be able to do it long enough for your heart to get the benefit. So if I'm going as fast as I can, this is when I talk about when you're running around and you're not pacing yourself very well. When you go too fast, you can't do that very long. So then your heart is only being exercised for a very short amount of time. Well, that's not enough time for your heart to see the benefit. So this is why we're trying to stay in the training zone as much as we can, okay? So how this one would work is you'd set the timer, you'd count, okay? But then when you get your number, you have to multiply to get the beats per minute, okay? And I'm gonna do another little video on how that works. But when you multiply, you'll find a bigger number, and then that number you're trying to stay within between here, 150 and 180. And if your thing is 155, you'd be right here. You would be in the training zone. You know you'd be doing a good amount of work for your heart. And then if you were down here, it just means you got to pick up the pace a little bit. And obviously, if it's up here, it probably means you can slow down a little bit because you're not going to be able to do it much longer, and you want to stay within the training zone. This is what lots of endurance athletes try and practice staying in so they can get faster and better and stronger as they progress in their training. Like I said, this chart is a little bit busier, but it's meant for like my older ones, okay, and for older adults and students.